H&R Block is tracking money habits of Gen Z. We are checking in now with Andy Phillips, the Vice President of the Tax Institute at H&R Block. Andy, what can you tell us?
Absolutely. So just earlier this month, H&R Block released our annual Outlook on American Life report, and it's a fascinating report. We filed over 20 million tax returns each year, and that gives us a front row view to Americans' lives and their financial lives. Some interesting things we saw that are in this year's report are one, wages are actually increasing for a lot of the folks that we serve. We're seeing that wages are even increasing for a lot of folks at a rate that outpaces inflation. However, on the other side, while we have seen that inflation is easing in a lot of cases, people are still burdened by debt. Specifically, credit card debt is something that, respondents that participated in this indicated that is a real problem for them. And so that's one thing that you can read more about in the report. You asked about generational changes. And one thing that's really interesting we do is we try to cut up this information by different segments to help tell the story at a more granular level. And when you look by generation, it's just fascinating. Gen Z is the one I'll focus on in our limited time. And a couple of things. One, they just are really breaking the mold and how they earn their income in two key ways. One, day jobs. A lot of folks are still W-2 employees. You think about you work for a company, but a lot of them are switching jobs at a higher rate than we've seen in the past. One of the most common reasons is they're doing that to increase their take-home pay. In addition, we see Gen Zs are very entrepreneurial, a lot of side hustles, and we're even seeing a lot of those folks are taking their side hustle, maybe something they were doing nights and weekends, and turning it into their full-time job. The last piece on how they make their money is it's not just kind of their day job, if you will, whether that be as a small business owner or as an employee, but also their investments. They're looking into more non-traditional investments. A common example is cryptocurrency. So when you look at the different generations, it really tells an interesting story. And it's just one of the fascinating pieces of H&R Block's 2024 Outlook on American Life report.
Is there anything new that crypto investors need to know about taxes or even traders?
Yeah, a little bit of a look forward, but first, the important thing to remember is even if you don't get a 1099 showing your crypto transactions, those digital currency or those cryptocurrency transactions are still taxable even if you don't get a 1099. So you need to make sure you're tracking your both income and then your costs or your basis in those. So you are complying and reporting them, but you're not paying more tax than you had an actual taxable gain. Starting in 2025, those exchanges, those brokerages are going to start issuing people a form 1099-DA. What that means is in about a little over a year, when you go to file your taxes for 2025, you may see a new 1099. So you really want to be on top of your crypto transactions. Make sure you know how much gain you think you're going to have during the year so you can plan for your expected tax liability if you have a lot of gains. On the other hand, if you have losses, you want to make sure you're tracking those because some subset of those losses may be able to offset other taxable income.
Thank you for your tax tips.
Thank you so much for having me today. It's always a pleasure. I look forward to joining you in the future.